welcome to my channel. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to day 19 of Vlogmas 2025. Wow, if there were any days this Vlogmas that felt like Christmas, this would certainly be one of them. And close to Christmas we are getting. It is basically only 5 and 6 days away. Having said that, I have been actually neglecting a very important detail, a detail that I managed to gloss over the past couple of Vlogmases, and that would be the focus on Christmas dinner and Christmas Eve dinner, the actual proteins. As you know, I have been focused on foods this week. I am saving one last recipe for Christmas Eve, or maybe the 23rd, I'm not sure yet. But this week will be entirely focused on food, that is holiday meals and desserts. So today I think I'm going to shift my focus from sweets to proteins, and I'm going to try to come up with a very original, ingenious holiday meal idea that I haven't tried before, but one that I know I'm going to absolutely love. And if I'm going to like it, you're going to love it too. And I really have to say that, you know, on some of these occasions, festive holidays and various other special days, I tend to get the turkey blahs. In other words, I'll have 2 or 3 bites of turkey, with or without gravy, and that's it. I am done. I am so done after those few bites. Happens that no matter how good and moist the turkey is, I just seem to fill up on it way too soon, and that is one of the reasons why I never really go for a large turkey. It's usually a smaller turkey or turkey pieces, whatever have you. And so this Christmas I thought I would focus on the Christmas Eve dinner, and actually Christmas Day, what kind of proteins I could have readily available besides turkey. And so I'm going to be taking you into the Asian market with me today and looking around, poking around for some new and different ideas as to what other kinds of protein I can serve up on Christmas Day. As it so happens, this year I am doing a Christmas event a little earlier, a little before Christmas, and so I need to prepare a bit beforehand, and so I'm actually going to record this slightly before the actual day that I'll be cooking. That way I can just pop it into a serving platter and take it away. So I will be focusing on other kinds of festive meals that you can sort of whip up and put on the dinner table and reach for, just to break up the monotony of the turkey blahs. But I do love turkey. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. I love turkey and I eat it quite often. It's not something that I would ever consider foregoing, simply because I just haven't learned the perfect skill in terms of keeping it moist and flavorful throughout the roasting process. I still can't do that. And so whatever I come up with, I'm going to be also trying to spruce up my roasting techniques and adding little splashes of this and that to it, little sprigs of this and that, and presto, we'll see what we come up with. So let's head on to the market, and hopefully I can find something there. as it is, I believe that I am going to be working on a couple of recipes that do require a bit of alcohol that I don't have on hand right now. So I need to pick up a couple of bottles of champagne, or maybe 2 or 3 of the little ones, and some bourbon, and or some cooking sherry, something like that. And then I believe we're all set. But I do have other ingredients like cocoa and ginger and a sage that I do require for the cooking of these protein recipes. So that's where I'm headed right now. And hopefully we can get this day done before nightfall. I'm home now, and it's after 7. I didn't mean to stay out that late, but I just got carried away looking at all the different products in the store and trying to decide what to choose for my recipe. And even though I'm straying from the traditional orange ham recipe, I wanted to make sure that I had all the right ingredients, the ingredients that I would like to try the recipe with. And so let's flip the view. And basically that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm going to be carrying out the recipe of the orange glazed ham, or mimosa ham, whatever you want to call it, because it does require some champagne. And that's my original twist, my unique original twist. But yeah, so it's going to be a big job, but I did prepare the orange glaze last night. And so in a little bit, I'll be showing you highlights of that. But in the meantime, let's flip the view and I'll let you have a look at the items that I picked up. All in all, this was around $150. And as you can see, I did pick up the duck. And I'm going to have to figure out how to cut it or fill it. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with it yet. And I also picked up a couple of small packages of seafood medley and some heavy cream. And actually, it's whipping cream, a ham, and some oat milk festive nog. I am dying to try that. Although I'm not such a huge fan of oat milk, I think it might be interesting. Some orange juice, an orange, a pear, and by no means is this my fruit haul for Christmas, but this is for cooking. The orange and the pear are for cooking, probably for the orange and the duck. And I also got some pineapple juice and orange juice. I picked up a package of my favorite chocolate coffee. And I have some bread, some sourdough bread. And I picked up some pasta and green vegetables. I have broccolini and rapini. And I picked up some sweet peppers and eggplant for all my soups. And that's a scallion. That's for cooking as well. And the green vegetables, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be frozen away. I'm only going to nibble at them throughout the coming weeks because there's so much more already in the freezer. And so that's it. That is my haul. And some traditional yeast. So here we are with the items that I actually meant to pick up the other day and just couldn't handle all those groceries. So this is a little more of an addition to the other haul that I just finished showing you. And so I decided to pick up some more garlic because that's a very essential item for the recipes that I have coming out. And these vegetables are not for the recipes, but they are essential for holiday meals. So I decided to pick some up, and maybe I will actually freeze these. So yeah, I've been looking for those. Aren't they beautiful? And so no Christmas Eve for me is complete without my lupini beans, which I adore. They're so tasty and pop right into your mouth. And you have to be careful with the shells, though. They can hurt your tummy. Along with the pineapple juice and orange juice that I purchased the other haul, I also picked up some crushed pineapple pieces and some ginger garlic paste with spicy chili, and that will be just perfect for the sugar glazed ham, honey glazed ham, whatever you want to call it, the mimosa ham, sweet ham, sugar ham. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. I decided to pick up another package of this cooking baking, which is very hard to come by. And it's absolutely essential, and I need it for the stuffing as well as for the roasting of the ham and the other recipe that I have coming at you. I also picked up a sweet fig-based vinegar for roasting the duck. Guys, I'll probably put some into the ham as well because it does require some vinegar. Mandarins for the orange ham and orange duck, sage and lemongrass for the soup. I'm going to be making a veal and pork-based broth for both the orange duck or mimosa duck and orange ham. And so I'm going to be making that. That's an optional step, but I am going to be making the broth and adding it to the roasting pan so that it will just have a little extra moisture. And then I went along to the liquor store and I purchased some Italian champagne, and some other sort of, believe this one is from Spain, champagne, and some port wine for the ham, and also maybe just a little touch for the duck, and some red wine just in case. And so here is the ground veal and ground pork that I'm going to be using first as the soup base. And I'm going to be making little meatballs. And then I'm going to, when the broth is done, with the lemongrass and all the other ingredients that I'll be showing you, I'm going to simply put them aside and reuse them for the filling of the mimosa duck. And I believe I forgot to show you the shallots and some baby yams. And that will be going, the baby yams will be roasted with both recipes that I have coming out. And I think it's going to be delicious. Before I begin to roast the ham, I would like to start off with the broth, and it shouldn't take altogether very long. I am going to be using chicken, a mixture of chicken, pork, and veal, and a tomato, some carrots, anise, cinnamon, and some mint, and lemongrass, black peppercorn, coriander, and I'll just show you as I go along. It's basically essentially the same sorts of ingredients that you would put into a faux broth. And so I'll let you have a look. For the broth, I'm also going to be throwing in some chicken liver bits, gizzards, whatever you want to call them. And they're going right to the filling, so I really need that ingredient. So these are the ingredients for the broth, and I have here a part of a chicken thigh, a potato, lemongrass, and I use that whole package of lemongrass, and carrots, a scallion, an onion, bay leaf, cloves, cinnamon, peppercorn, and anise, and coriander. And I think that's about it. Oh, nutmeg. Now, while I get these ingredients going into a broth, I will actually, I forgot to show you the chicken liver gizzards. I will be preparing the veal and pork meatballs, and I'll show you that process as soon as I get this going. So give me a hot minute. By the way, I'm using salted chicken broth. I cannot abide the unsalted. I don't know what it is. I just don't use it. And sometimes when everything is out except for the unsalted, I usually skip it. So bay leaf is very important. Guys, I forgot the green onion. Green onion must accompany all of these recipes that I'm showing you, but especially the broth, and I don't have it. So, bad me. My bad. I have it written down in the recipe cards, but I don't have it on my list. So I didn't buy it. And that means I have to make an extra trip to the store again tomorrow. So here are the ingredients for the meatball mixture, and I am adding parsley, salt, white pepper, and some garlic. And I could probably throw in some chopped onion, but I'm not going to really make a big deal out of it. So I'm going to roll these up and pop them into the soup right here, and we'll see what happens. To be using 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I also have here a half a plum tomato and some mint. That's going in the broth too. Still working on the broth, I decided to throw in a little bit of cilantro, and maybe I forgot to mention salt and white pepper as well. So yeah, I think it's starting to smell very delicious. Wouldn't you know, I also forgot to tell you that I'm throwing in a couple of cloves of garlic into the broth. And yeah, that's a really important ingredient. And so let's have a look at how I'm going to prepare the meatballs as well. Hang on. So here are the ingredients for the meatball mixture, and I am adding parsley, salt, white pepper, and some garlic. And you could probably throw in some chopped onion, but I'm not going to really make a big deal out of it. So I'm going to roll these up and pop them into the soup right here, and we'll see what happens. Okay, the broth is done, and you could freeze the broth or simply put it in the refrigerator and save it for another day. I'm going to be simply putting it in the refrigerator and using it for both the roast mimosa duck and the sugar honey recipes. So I'm glad that I made it because I like my protein to be very juicy and moist when they roast. So the broth and the stuffing are in the freezer, and so I'm going to now show you some of the highlights from the sugar glaze that I made for the ham last night. And here are the ingredients. For the glaze, we have some Spanish champagne, port wine, pineapple juice and crushed pineapple, lemon juice, oranges, and probably some orange peel, which I did not set out here, but I'm going to throw it in. I should add that this, for the duck, it calls for bitter orange, but I'm not going to worry myself about that. I'm just going to try to stick with the citrus flavors for both the duck and the ham recipes. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of maple syrup, brown sugar, cocoa sugar, and honey. And I think that will make it sweet enough. And I'm going to be adding about 3/4 cup of orange juice, about 1/2 cup of lemon juice, and about 3/4 cup of pineapple chunks and pineapple juice, and orange slices and whatever juice will come out of these, cinnamon, some chili, ginger, 1/2 cup of Dijon mustard, and some fig-flavored vinegar, balsamic vinegar, about 1 cup of pine nuts, some red chili, black peppercorn, and if I haven't already said it, it's about a teaspoon or two of ginger. And about the pine nuts, I think that perhaps I'll just throw in a few, but mostly they're for the roast ham recipe. And so I'm going to kind of think about this for a minute. I'm not sure about the pine nuts, but I'll let you know. And even though this is mostly for the roasting of the ham, I'm going to throw in a couple of teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Hot paste, I should say, with chili pepper. I almost forgot just a little bit of nutmeg. The ham is ready to go into the oven, and I have been marinating it in the broth and the orange mixture. And so what I put in it, rosemary, black peppercorn, onion, garlic, shallots, bay leaf, scallion, and some cooking bacon, rosemary, and thyme. So I think that's all. The potatoes and carrots are very mini, and I thought they were baby yams, but they're basically baby potatoes, and which are delicious. So it's going into the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes, and after a half hour or so, I need to baste it every 15 minutes. Actually, every 15 minutes I should baste it. And then after a half hour, I'll pull it out and pour more of the orange mixture on top of it and pop it back into the oven for another while. And hopefully it will develop some sort of crust. And I have to tell you, the orange mixture is out of this world. So here we go. Oh, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I forgot. I also forgot to tell you that I did put pine nuts all over the bottom and the top of the ham. And so I didn't crush them. I might have crushed them, but I thought it would be okay to just leave them whole. And they have such a nice flavor. Anyway, I'll talk to you in a little while. Like the broth that I made and froze, I'm going to conserve this leftover orange mixture in the freezer until I'm ready to prepare the duck. Basting it with the orange mixture, I put it back in the oven, and it's staying in the oven for another 30 minutes. And so it is developing a little bit of a crust, but not too much. And that may be because maybe it's too thin. The liquid might be too thin. Probably I didn't put enough sugar in it, something like that, but I'm sure it's going to taste wonderful. Well, the ham is done, and it smells divine in here, and I'll let you have one more look, and then we'll get started on the next recipe, which will be the mimosa duck, and yeah, it's time to get to that recipe. Now, I'm going to just put this aside, and I want to get started on the roast duck because it's been thawing for 2 days and it marinated in the orange mixture overnight. And so while it's still marinating, I'm going to prepare some jasmine rice for the stuffing. And then I'm going to take all the meat that I had from the broth, and I'm going to throw in a raw egg, some breadcrumbs, some cooking bacon, garlic, maybe a little onion, parsley, and I'm going to put that all together and stuff the duck with that. And I'm going to make sure that the broth, just like we did with the ham, the broth will be sitting underneath the duck, and I will prepare it much the same way that I did with the ham. And it's going to taste absolutely divine. And don't forget, this mixture that I'm going to be using for the duck is exactly the same that I use for the ham. And I can't wait to taste it. And so there you have it, my orange glazed ham and mimosa duck. I hope that you have enjoyed listening and watching. Thank you so much.